We bought an XS11 catamaran from factory for €440,000. But to be standing here today, we've had to spend substantially more than that. From upgrading our batteries and installing solar, to safety equipment and pots and pans. Kitting out a brand new boat can be pretty expensive.
So, how much did we have to spend on extras to allow us to live aboard? Well, let's load up our spending tracker at the bottom of the screen and then we'll kick things off with our safety gear. One of the most important investments that we made right from the start was into our safety kit. And one of the most important parts of our safety kit is our life raft. If the unthinkable should happen and we need to abandon ship, then we would throw this into the water, which is a 6-person life raft, and it cost us €1,100. We also bought 6 life jackets, 2 for me and Andrew and 4 for guests, safety lines so that we can clip on when it gets rough, things to throw in the water like horseshoe buoys in case anyone falls in, and if really does hit the fan, we've got flares. Hopefully we'll never have to use any of this kit, but it came in at just over €800.
And then we have this. This little unit is called an EPIRB. Basically, it's an emergency beacon system that alerts emergency services if we ever got ourselves into trouble. This is an essential for any yacht, but it did come in at €650.
When we first moved onto the boat, we realised that a ship chandlery is one of the most expensive shops in the world, and we needed a lot of things from the chandlery, like fenders, for example, which we needed 8 of and come in at around €90 each. We needed spare lines and sheets, as well as courtesy flags. We needed handheld VHF, fire extinguisher, fire blankets, nuts, bolts, shackles, spares, the list goes on. Oh, and wait for it, and a foghorn. And all these things don't sound like a lot individually, but we racked up a bill of around €2,000 on just little bits and bobs.
And because we live on a boat, everything breaks all of the time. So you don't only need just 1 toolbox or 2 toolboxes, but you need at least 3. And every single tool you could possibly imagine for any type of scenario.
Next up, power, or more specifically, solar power. If you're going to live aboard full time, you need a way to generate electricity, and this is where the costs start mounting up.
We asked 2 marine electricians on the west coast of France to install solar onto our boat. They came back and they both quoted us over €20,000 to do so. And after choking on our dinner, we politely said no, and we took on the challenge to design and install our very own solar setup.
When you're installing solar, you need to think about where you're going to mount your panels. And we thought the best place for ours would be on our davits. But we were getting quoted €4,000 to €6,000 just to create a stainless steel frame to mount them on. So with a little bit of help, we designed, manufactured and installed our very own rig, which came in at €600. Not bad. So we then installed our 3 solar panels, our Victron charge controller, a Victron Multiplus 3000 inverter, additional batteries, wiring and all the other components that we needed to get ourselves off grid, and this came in at a total of €5,000. If you want to watch our full solar install video, we'll put a link in the description below.
And then there's this. This is our tender and outboard, a key lifeline for anybody living on anchor. This little boat is sometimes the only way we can access shore, whether we're provisioning, doing the laundry, or just going exploring. When we were researching tenders, one brand came up again and again and again, Highfield. But then we saw the price of a Highfield.
A Highfield 310 costs €4,000. So we found this instead, which is a 3.1 metre Zodiac. Same size, same weight, but only €1,700, less than half the price. And after 6 months, we can say we absolutely love it. We even gave him a name and called him Ralph. I just don't know what the difference is between this and the Highfield to justify that price difference. If you have a Highfield and you know, please let us know in the comments below and tell us what you think.
And then we have this. This is our 15 horsepower Suzuki engine, the biggest outboard that we could fit onto our tender. And it just means we can go anywhere and do anything regardless of the wind and swell. But it did cost us €2,200. Hold tight.
And all that before we've even started living on the boat. Moving aboard is a bit like moving into a brand new apartment. We need pots, pans, plates, cutlery, bedding, cushions, plants, and all the soft furnishings to make it feel really homely. We spent another €1,000 on turning a boat into a home.
Now this little unit is the most important thing that we have on our boat. This is a Starlink Mini, and it gives me internet access anywhere in the world, even when we're 60 miles offshore, and it's the only reason that I can work full time from our catamaran. And we had to buy the device for €300.
It's actually the second most important thing, because obviously the most important thing. And when you live on a yacht, there's no better way to explore these beautiful bays than with water toys. Paddleboards, inflatables, snorkels, flippers, harpoons. You can add another €600 to our bill.
And surely, after all of that expense, the boat is fully prepared, we're ready to leave the marina and set sail.
But wait, we still have one big cost to cover. Getting the boat from the west coast of France to the Mediterranean, where we plan to spend our first summer.
We decided to use a professional crew to help us with our passage. Now, professional crew are typically on day rates. Our skipper was €290 a day, but you also have to pay for flights, accommodation, travel expenses, and all the food and drink and all the provisions for the crew whilst they were on passage, and they ate a lot of food.
But after severe weather, seasickness, a crew member getting sacked, a full change of crew halfway through, what should have been a pretty simple delivery ended up taking a month. So those day rates really started to add up. And our total delivery bill came in at €7,447. Ouch.
And after all of that, it brings our total to €23,697. Boy, do those Chandlery visits get expensive.
Yeah, and that doesn't include two big things that we still really want to install, which is a water maker and a washing machine, which you might have seen on our last video of our biggest regrets. And that will take our total up by another €8,000 to €10,000 if we install them this winter. But hopefully this video gave you some insight to what the extras cost, and if you're planning to live aboard full time, then hopefully it will help you budget a little better.
We always try to make our videos as fun and professional as possible, but they really do take us hours to make each week, mainly because of all of Ruth's bloopers.
Big 15 horsepower engine so that we could pull. When you're installing solar, you need to think about and since then we've heard issue after issue with these throttles. Which is a water maker and a washing machine.
Yes, please proceed.
Which...
Yeah, it can be pretty painful at times, but what makes it all worth it is you guys engaging with our content. So if you haven't already, please click the like button, subscribe, and drop us a comment below. It really does mean a lot to us. And if you do subscribe, in next week's video, we're talking monthly costs, how much it costs us to sail Runa on a monthly basis, and how, as a young couple, we can afford this incredible lifestyle. So we'll see you next week.